Hello, welcome back. I was going to say the name of this episode, or the number of the episode, and I can't even remember what number I'm on. 30 something, I will say. Not 100% sure. And yeah, I did some good, decent watching in the last couple days. I'm starting to get back on track where I'm actually watching a lot of stuff. I have a couple new releases today that just came out today that I watched tonight. And then I have a few more gems. So I'll get right off to a start here. This is the original Night of the Demons. This is just the Blu-ray Steelbook here from Scream Factory. Really beautiful Steelbook. Absolutely must have. I know they just put this one out on 4K, and you know the deal with me. If I already have a really nice edition of something, I'm not gonna pay another $50 to upgrade just for a little slight better picture. But yeah, what year was this? Like 87, I think. 87. I'm okay on years, on remembering years of movies. I'm not good with names, as you know. But yeah, Night of the Demons. Angela here. And Linnea Quigley is in this. I think that's about it for like familiar faces, because it's pretty low budget. 80s cheese fest going on in this one. I absolutely love this movie, but it's not for everybody. It's very just like quirky and cheesy, and the acting's okay. It's not great, but I don't know. The music's good. The atmosphere's awesome. I love the whole like castle feel in movies, going like all the way back to the 20s. I just love that gothic castle feel, and this has a lot of that. And the special effects are actually pretty well done in this. Like, there's a few scenes. There's the famous scene with Linnea Quigley where she's on top of the guy and they're about to do it, and then she turns into the demon and she shoves like lipstick through her nipple. Really good, crazy, like practical effects going on. Just all of them, actually. The practical effects on all the demons in this movie are very well done. I don't know who directed this. I don't know a whole lot about the Night of the Demons franchise, if you can call it a franchise. Was there like 3 of them and then the remake? I don't, my knowledge isn't that deep. I watched this movie for the first time when I was like a teenager. I remember liking it a lot when I was young, and then I never watched it again until like, well, probably like within the last 5 years. And then I've seen it 3 times now. But absolutely, this is a must grab. If you love horror movies, you have to have Night of the Demons in your collection, no matter how you get it. But this is a beautiful steelbook from Scream. And if you don't have it at all, why not just grab the 4K? I know it's just a slip-covered 4K, but why not? It's a good one. Next up here, I have Dracula Untold, which in my opinion is a rare gem. When I went into this is the first of the modern Universal Monsters movies they were gonna make, and abandoned after they failed on all of them, actually. And the sad part is I actually really like this movie. I think it's very well acted. I think a lot of the action scenes are well done and they're unique and cool. I'm also a huge fan of Charles Dance. He plays a huge role in this. I won't give away much in case you haven't seen it, because to me this is a must watch. And I don't think a lot of people seen it because it got such terrible reviews. And they like, it like ruined the MonsterVerse before it even got started with this, and I don't get it, because I feel like this is pretty solid. Like, if you like movies like Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, what year did that come out? Like 2002 or something? It's 2005. I don't know, something like that. If you like that movie, you'll definitely find a lot to love in this one. I liked the whole, like, just the battle scenes. Like, I just it's an excellent movie. You have to give it a try. After I watched this for the first time, this was the second time I've seen it, but for the first time, I was bummed when it ended, knowing, because the first time I watched it was, let's see, I didn't even see it when it first came out, so I'm part of the problem too. But the first time I watched it, I was bummed, because at that point the modern classic monster, it's so weird to say that, the modern classic monster movies are was already canned after The Mummy came out with Tom Cruise, which is bad. I still have a little bit of fun with that one, but that one's still pretty fucking terrible. I can admit that. But yeah, it was a bummer, because I would have loved to have seen where they went next with this, and then all the characters that would have like came into it. I think that would have been cool. But yeah, check out Dracula Untold. Beautiful 4K picture and sound as well. And then next up here, I'm gonna stick to the vampire. Oh, actually, yeah, this is a vampire heavy episode. Jeez, I didn't even realize. This is Vamp from 1985, I think. Oh, it's one of those arrows that has the wrong year on. We'll go by the arrow year. This came out in 1996. That's so weird that they're always fucked up. Like, I don't think I have any that have the proper years on the back. Every single one of them say like, not only does it say 1996 down here, but it also says it way down here as well in the fine print. But yeah, Arrow Video. This one doesn't come with anything in it. It's just the card that tells you, like, movie that's coming soon. Joint security area. It does have the reversible alert. So you got the new, and you got the original stuff. Now, I watched this for the first time about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, somewhere during the COVID era. I watched it for the first time, and I heard a lot of good things with this movie. Like, I heard it was a top 80s vampire movie, and I would say that it's definitely a top because there's only so many. Like, to me, Fright Night is leagues better. Lost Boys is leagues better, amongst a ton more. But it did have some cool scenes. It's just a bunch of dudes. They go to a strip club, and it's a lot of stripping. Like, there's just, the emphasis is on stripping and not so much vampires until the final act of the movie, really. But Grace Jones here does an excellent job. Like, she gives it everything she's got. And what's his name? Shit, I can't remember the actor's name. There's an Asian man. Is it this one, Getty Watanabe? Getty Watanabe? I think that's his name. He's really funny. He's got some good one-liners. There's a good one-liner, actually, that most people have probably seen in, like, documentaries, where he's goes up to one of the girls in the bar, and he's like a tiny, awkward dude, and he goes up to one of the girls and he's hitting on her, and he says, what's the exact line? He's like, what time do you get off? And she gives him a time, and before she can say it, he says, can I watch? I'm like, it's just some funny one-liners like that. And then some of the gore's pretty good. But there's nothing, like, stand out-ish. Like, I can see, if you've seen From Dusk Till Dawn, that definitely took some elements from Vamp. It feels similar. From Dusk Till Dawn is better, in my opinion. Just a more well-made, better acting, better everything. But it's still a cool movie. If you don't have it, this Arrow edition isn't that badly priced either. I bought it on Facebook Marketplace, so I only paid like $20 or something. But I'm pretty sure you can get this one for under 30, brand new on like Amazon. If you're here in Canada, Cinema One. I don't think it's out of print yet. Pretty sure it's still widely available. But yeah, check it out if you haven't seen Vamp. It's definitely worth a watch. It's different. Next up here, I have. Now I was gonna wait and do this whole trilogy as one, but I didn't feel like watching the other ones right at the moment, and I like to do movies that I've watched either right away, like right before I do episodes, within a couple of days, or at least like within the last few months I've seen it, just so it's nice and fresh, because I just wing everything here. And this one is Split with James McAvoy. James McAvoy. This is basically a James McAvoy showcase of how good of an actor he is, which I didn't really care about James McAvoy at all. Like, he's kind of sideshow, but he is phenomenal in this, playing the split personalities. It's quite wild. This is M. Night Shyamalan, or Shyamalan, as I like to say. Yeah, he has 23 different personalities, and it's just a great. Anya Taylor-Joy, by the way, is in this as well. This is one of her earlier roles. Does this come with anything yet? No, just the Blu-ray and the 4K. I love the story. Like, I love everything. I would give Split like a 4.5 out of 5. Just the storyline's so good. Like, where he's going to a psychologist and he's got all these different personalities, but there's one personality called the Beast, and all the other personalities are terrified of it. And at the end, you don't really know whether he's actually a beast. Like, it's just really cool. I loved it. I think all the performances are awesome. McAvoy should have been like nominated for an Oscar for this, I think, because I think his acting, it's a phenomenal performance. If you haven't seen Split, definitely watch it. It's not just good acting. It's got great storyline, very just unpleasant and intense moments throughout. Anya Taylor-Joy is awesome, as always. Yeah, check out Split if you haven't seen it. If you want to watch them in order, like, you can watch Unbreakable, which is also really also amazing movie to me. I haven't done that one yet. I'll get to it eventually. I have that on 4K as well. I'm gonna jump off horror here for a second, and I'm gonna jump over to what I think was a highly overrated movie, and this is from Martin Scorsese. This is The Irishman. This is from Criterion here. It's got the nice thick Criterion case, the cardboard one. I do love these artworks inside the case here. Pacino, Pesci, and De Niro. And here's the thing with The Irishman. I've seen all the top gangster movies of all time. Some of them multiple times, tons of times. I've even seen a lot of older, not low budget. They would have been big budget for the time, but just older ones. Like I've seen the original Scarface from the 30s. I've seen a whole bunch. Public Enemy. A whole bunch of those. So, here's my problem with this one. Is I still think it's like a 3 out of 5. But this is like, I'm pretty sure this won some Oscars, didn't it? Like, it was highly praised, we'll say. And I just found it kind of boring. Like, these guys just felt too old to me to be doing these roles still. Like, there's a scene where De Niro's, like, kicking the shit out of somebody. And he seems like he's 100. Like, it feels like I could beat up Robert De Niro in this movie. He doesn't come off as this, like, mean, tough guy gangster. I don't know. It does have some great lines, obviously. Tons of awesome acting. Like, it's top-notch acting. I give it all the typical greatness of a Scorsese movie and the greatness of a slow-paced gangster film. It has all of that. It just didn't suck me in like Scarface and Goodfellas and Casino and what's the big one I'm missing? Jesus, joking. Whatever. The big gangster films just didn't suck me in. The Departed is another one of my faves. I've covered that in a previous episode. Yeah. Here's the thing. This is a Netflix movie. It's probably going to be on there forever. So if you don't care about physical media and you haven't checked out The Irishman, you should definitely give it a try because you might like it more than me. It might be your style of gangster film more than mine. But I don't know. Obviously, I'm a proponent of collecting everything. I'm not going to tell you to not add this nice packaging of The Irishman from Criterion into your collection. Why not? Right? If you have the extra dough and you want to do it, then go ahead. Next up here, this is, I don't even know why I watched this one, but I like this movie way more than I think it deserves. It's weird. I just have a lot of fun with it. This is Birds of Prey here on 4K with the slip. Just bought this off my brother, actually. I only had it on Blu-ray. And he had a whole bunch of 4Ks he wanted to sell. And I was like, yeah, I'll take all of them. Everything you got there. So I bought all his 4Ks off him and upgraded a bunch of movies. I'll probably cover a few of them in the next few episodes because some of them I wanted to see on 4K to see how good they looked. But yeah, Birds of Prey. I think Ewan McGregor as Black Mask does an excellent job. I think she plays an excellent Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie. I also like, I pretty much like, I won't get too deep on it. I don't want to trash people, but I pretty much like the entire Birds of Prey cast here. All of them. I think they all have their own decent backstories, but Harley Quinn, this is a Harley Quinn movie. It's her story, and I think Margot Robbie absolutely nails the role. She looks the part. Excellent stuff. It's just a fun, ridiculous. Like, if you've seen The Suicide Squad. Not Suicide Squad, but the second one. It's a lot like that. It feels like James Gunn could have directed this. Who did direct this? Kathy Yan. I'm not sure on that director. I don't think I've heard of her. Kathy Yan. Like, I feel like I've heard the name, but I don't know. But anyways. Yeah, if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, I definitely think this is one of DC's better movies in the last decade. It would be in the top half. If actually, I should do it. I see. I get all these ideas. Like, I was just thinking to myself, oh man, it'd be fun to go through and watch every DC movie I have and give them a ranking. I need to finish one thing at a time here, but maybe in the future, I will do a full ranking. I'm pretty sure I have every single live-action DC movie ever made. The only one I would be missing is the made-for-television movie Superman versus the Mole Men, or Superman and the Mole Men. I can't remember exactly. Superman versus the Mole Men, I believe. It like came out in the frickin' early 60s or late 50s or something. That's the one I'm missing because I don't think it's actually possible to get it on physical media. You'd have to have like a ripped copy. But I'm pretty sure I have every other one. A couple of them might be on DVD that I've kept around just because I haven't been able to get my hands on a Blu-ray or a 4K of it. But yeah, anyways, I might do that in the future just for fun. But yeah, if you haven't seen Birds of Prey, check it out. Highly recommended. Looks beautiful on 4K too because it's very colorful. And then my last two here for the episode. These are the brand new releases that just came out today. I'm recording this on a Tuesday night. These just came out today. I grabbed them both. I'll do the one I think is shittier first. And that's Tarot. Sorry. I always have a terrible habit with saying tarot. So much so that it's one of those things where I can't even get my brain to say it properly. And I know everybody has stuff like that. So I've said tarot so many times in my life that tarot, I know they're tarot cards, but oh man, so every time I go to say it, I have to think about it for a minute. Oh yeah, it's tarot. That kind of thing. But yeah, a cast of pretty much nobodies in this. It's got Ned from Spider-Man. What's his name in real life here? Joseph Bashara? Or no, sorry, it's Jacob Battalion. Yeah, Jacob Battalion is Ned from Spider-Man. Oh, fuck. This is one that has a lot of potential. It has some moments that I enjoyed quite a bit. I'm not going to ruin it just because this is a brand new release, so I'm not going to ruin these next two. But I'll just give my thoughts on what I think of what I thought. My thoughts of what I think. Jesus. I would give this probably a 2 out of 5 because although it had some elements, like it basically feels like a supernatural or a very supernatural version of like a Final Destination spin-off movie or something. There's creatures. I love the creatures. I love the look of them. I think they're pretty creepy. I like the storyline. I don't love it. I like the storyline. I think there's a lot of really cool, dark imagery. Like, I really like some of the imagery and the background scenes and stuff. I think the acting is pretty bad. Not horrendous, but like very mediocre. And the writing I find to be brutal in some parts. Like, there's some things that happen and I just can't comprehend it. I'll let you watch it for yourself. I don't want to call them out because then when you're watching the movie, you'll be immediately annoyed because you know these annoying parts are coming. And I'd rather not ruin that because maybe you won't even notice and you'll like the movie more than me. But, oh man, had potential. It's not the worst horror movie I've watched this year. That credit still goes to Night Swim. Night Swim is still my least favorite of the year. This is in the bottom 5 of the year so far. Of all movies. I haven't watched that many horror movies because not a ton has come out yet. But I would totally give it a watch. I do think there is some fun to be had, and some people might like it more than others. Just say that. But yeah, it's okay. And then, my last one for the episode. A lot of people can probably guess what this one's going to be. It came out today. Another horror movie. Sticking to the vampire theme here. This is Abigail. This one, on the other hand, actually kind of caught me off guard at how much I fucking liked it. I really wasn't expecting much. Like, this is one I did watch a trailer for, and I wish I didn't. When I was watching this, even Kayla brought up that how much better this movie would have been if you had no clue what it was about. And this is the prime example of that. If I had never seen a trailer for this and I went into it completely blind, I think this would have been like a 4.5. Like, that's how much I actually liked it. But because I knew what the storyline is, because I watched the trailer, you're kind of waiting for it to get to that stuff a bit. To get to where you know it's going. And it's one reason why I try to avoid trailers at all costs, because of this perfect example. Like, when you know where it's going to go, I find myself waiting for it to get there. And if I had no clue and just blind watched this one and didn't know that she is, for anybody that, I'll spoil a tiny bit, not much. She's a vampire's daughter. I want to say Dracula's daughter because that's what it feels like, but it's not technically, it doesn't specifically say that, but I feel like it's Dracula's daughter. And I think the cast of characters in this are all excellent. There's one guy that actually recently passed away from drug overdosing in this movie, and I found him to be so fucking annoying. Like, it was actually weird, because when I was watching it, I didn't know that he's like from the show Euphoria, because I've never seen that show. And I don't like talking bad about people that have passed away, but when he came on screen, his voice is so irritating. And I even said to Samara, I said, holy shit, this guy has a fucking drug problem. Like, I could tell that he was a drug addict in real life just by the way he acts in the movie. And then she said, oh yeah, he actually died of a drug overdose. I'm like, okay, jeez. But yeah, excellent characters here. Barrera. I always forget her first name. Oh my goodness. I gotta cheat on that again. Jeez. I told you I'm terrible with frickin' names. This is another one. It's Melissa. Jeez, I was gonna say Marsha Barrera. I was like, that's not right. Yeah, Melissa Barrera. You got Catherine Newton from Lisa Frankenstein, amongst others. Freaky. everyone. Like, you've seen pretty much everyone in this, except for the little girl. This is the first time I think I've ever seen her. And it's rated R. I'll start out by, I don't want to spoil too much, but that R rating is important because you know that you're getting a bloodier, just a better horror movie experience all around, to be honest. PG-13 horror is wearing very thin with me. I've kind of had my limits with it. When I watch a horror movie, it's just, like, unless it's, the storyline is amazing, then I don't care what the rating is. If it has an awesome storyline, who gives a shit? But most of these PG horror movies that, like, Blumhouse and people are putting out, their stories aren't great. So, like, give me some fucking gore and shit, at least. But yeah, this one delivers in the blood and gore department. I absolutely love the storyline in it. I was saying this would get a 4.5 if I didn't know, if I blind watched it. So what I'm actually giving it is a 4. I just think that the movie would have even been better if I had no clue. But basically, this group of people, at the beginning, kidnap this little girl, and they're doing it for somebody. And they go and they bring her back to this house where they're supposed to bring her, and all hell, like, breaks loose, sort of, and she's manipulating him, and it's just, I don't want to ruin a whole lot, but it's just really well done. Like, I don't know, I really enjoyed the storyline. My biggest complaint, I should say, not one, but my biggest complaint is that I found the final act to drag a little bit. Like, I really, like, I just felt like some of the scenes were a little too drawn out, and would have liked for it to get there a little quicker. But Abigail is a must check out. This is definitely in my top 5 of the year so far. I don't know about all films, but it might be. I really enjoyed it. It's done by Universal. So it's got that classic monster movies feel. They even play Swan Lake from the original Dracula, amongst a million other things. But Swan Lake is used in this, which I was like immediately, ooh, Swan Lake. Like, that got my attention. So good score, good everything like that. This little girl's acting is top notch, like, really freaking good. And I even like there's a little bit of twists here and there, and I enjoyed all that too. So yeah, definitely give Abigail a buy. Like, this is one you should go out and buy. It's a must-have in your collection for modern horror, I think. Maybe people hate it. I don't even know. I haven't looked up what other people are thinking of it. This is just strictly my personal opinion on first viewing, not knowing a whole lot. Like, I watched the trailer a few months ago, so I kind of knew what she is and everything. So if you didn't, that would have been even cooler. But yeah. Anyways, I will shut this episode down. Give you a little look-see there of what we're dealing with for this episode. Pretty good stack. 3 4Ks on that one. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you in a couple days.